2022. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit more practical, a little bit less LED light like. I noticed a few days ago that the way back over here, the turn signal bulbs the coating on them was flaking off, and I wanted to replace them because I don't want little flakes of yellow coating sort of settling at the bottom of the headlight. So when I went and looked at it, I found out that for both of these guys, they're needing replacing. When I went and looked at it, the access point for the turn signal lights is way back in there. You can't even get to them unless you pull the whole headlight out. So I figured I'd do something to show you guys what you need to do this. Today we're working on a 2013 Chevy Silverado 1500. You could have the same process for anything from a 2007.5 to 13. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so what do you need to get this project done? Over on the far right, we've got turn signal bulbs. You can get 4 of those, 2 packs of 2 for about $16 at AutoZone. Next to that, some gloves. Always nice to keep your fingers protected. And over to the left, we got an assortment of plastic non-marring pry bars. We will be working on taking a few panels off. We need to pop some clips. These are great to do. The plastic pry bars are great for popping those clips out without damaging the plastic. So without further ado, let's get to it. Right, so first the thing I wanted to show you was that we're going to be taking this plastic trim piece off. It's held on with 8 plastic tabs in here. Essentially what you'll do, take your plastic pry bar, get it underneath the little wedge point there and just pull up. Sort of gently work it back and forth. For me, this truck is 7 years old, so these pieces of plastic are 7 years old. They're not their most malleable anymore. They're a little bit drier and a little bit more brittle, so take your time with this. So we're going to go ahead and get down to it. Okay, now that we've got the 8 plastic tabs pried up, we just got to work them loose and pull them out. So this one, I think, having the touch of the fingers is a little bit more helpful. Just work it back and forth. Out it comes. One of these guys, and in the words of one of my favorite YouTubers, Weston Champlin, expertly catalog that down there. Go ahead and do the same for the next 7. Okay, now that we've gotten the 8 plastic clips expertly cataloged down there, go ahead, get the gloves back on. We're going to go ahead and pull this piece of plastic trim off, and then get to unbolting the grill. That's right, if you were not aware, just to change 4 light bulbs, we have to take the entire grill off. So, wonderful design that's been. But this just lifts off. Set that down over there, and now we've got essentially 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts to take off. So go ahead and grab the wrench. Alright, what we got here is a 10mm socket. Just back these 4 out here. Okay. That's all 4 bolts undone. Now, before we can lift this free, there are 4 clamps down below here that I'll show you next. Show you guys the clips that hold the front grille in place before we go ahead and start working on taking them out. So if we come down here, you'll see right over here is the first clip. Straight down below, here's the second clip. 3rd clip, and then 4th clip. So what you need to do is grab a pair of pliers. Essentially, pliers squeeze the clips together and then push forward there to get the grill off. So we'll go ahead and get those pliers and get started. Okay, once you've gotten those 4 clips off, there are 2 more clips that you'll need to get. And they're easy to miss. They're right up here. There's this one near the top. And come over to this side. There's this one right here. So now that those are off, or out, we're going to go ahead and put the camera back and pull the grill off. Okay, now that we've got all 6 of those clips pulled back, we're going to now basically pull the grill back and off. And it just lifts right out. You go ahead and put the grill down gently, but expertly catalog it right here next to that piece of trim. There we go. Alright, so now that we've got the grill off, you can, if you would like, take this time to clean the truck down. Mine's pretty clean because I do take really good care of it, but now's a good time to get in here, clean this, clean the grill maybe. Make sure this is all, clean and connected and up to speed where it needs to be. But when you're ready for the next step, what we want to do is undo some more 10mm bolts here on the headlight. There's one here, and then one just behind the wheel well. Alright, so we're on the passenger side headlight here, and we're going to be using the 10mm, I think it's 10mm, yep, 10mm hex wrench here, socket wrench rather, and we're going to be loosening this bolt, and then like I said, one under the wheel well, and once we get those bolts out, we'll go down below, and then we'll back the headlight out here. So let's get to it. Okay, there we go, that's bolt number 1 done. Go ahead and expertly catalog that on the floor. Bolt number 2, come down from the top. Okay, so now that both of the bolts are out, we can't just pull this guy out yet. We've got one more bolt to get, and he's down below on the wheel well, so I'll see you down there. Alright guys, we're down here on the passenger side wheel well. You can see the plastic here. I had a tiny little screw, slightly bigger screw. These were 7mm, this was 10mm. Back those out, lets you pull this back really easily. Gives you a lot of room in here to work. So what we need to do, come on in here, look up just a little bit, and there's a bolt. It's a 10mm bolt. Undo that guy, and the headlight will slide on out. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo this, and I'll meet you guys around back up on the front of the truck, where I'll be pulling the headlight out for you. Okay, met you around here now. We've got this bolt, and the bolt underneath removed. We're going to be just sliding the headlight out, undoing the harness, and then swapping out the bulbs. So let me go ahead and get this out for you. Okay, it does take some finesse, but now that I've got the headlight, slid forward a few inches, you can see it here. It's, plenty of room to work. You get the first turn signal bolt, comes out of, see if we can get it to focus, this hole here. Just unscrew that counterclockwise, pull the bulb out, put a new bulb in, do the same for the next one. Here you can kind of see it, the coating is bubbling up there and starting to flake off, so I'm going to get that replaced and then put the bulb back, seal out the headlights. Okay, so to pull the bulb out, it's real simple. You just pull on it like that. Put that down there. Make sure not to step on it. Get the next bulb out. Out he comes. Work this one out. Again, just pull on it. Medium firmness. Again, I don't know if you can see here. You got the flakes coming off the coating here. Just get some new bulbs. The reason, again, like I said, I'm doing this is the flakes were sort of resting down at the bottom of the headlight here. And it's not what I wanted to see. So I'll go ahead and grab the new bulb. Again, you go to AutoZone, pick up a couple of these guys. Long life, Sylvania, real cheap, real simple, straightforward stuff. Alright. There we go, new bulb, straight out of the pack. Come over here. Grab the first harness bit. Just push this guy in until it clicks. There you go. And we'll leave that out for now. What I want to do is test these before I assemble everything back up. Don't want to have this all done, assembled, and then find out these bulbs are bad. So always test your stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up with this second bulb here. This one's a little bit tighter, the harness is shorter, but we can still get it in. Again, line it up and push till it clicks. Okay, now that's in place, we're going to go ahead and give it a test. Hop in the truck, make sure the bulbs work. There we go. Okay. Bulbs work, so now all I gotta do is put the headlight back. Just slide it back into place. The clips in the original spot. There we go. And now, grab our original bolts. So, line you guys up for that. Be back in a moment. Okay, we're back in place here to take a look at putting these bolts back. Again, just 10 millimeters. Go ahead and thread them through the original holes. Start on this guy as well. Okay, again, it's a 10 millimeter. Just give it a good firm snug. These are plastic pieces, so we don't need to crank them super hard. Just medium tight. There we go. Okay, I'll go ahead and meet you down at the wheel well. Okay, now we're down at the wheel. We're going to go ahead and put this bolt back, slide it on into place, and tighten it up. Okay, we've got these three plastic well liner bolts here. Put that into place. Grab the longer 10 millimeter. Put that in there. Get that tightened up. No, don't tighten it all the way yet. We want to put these guys, the smaller well clip bolts back in beforehand so we can get this good and snug against the wheel well. See, if you tighten this one too tight down here and it's hanging low, you're gonna have a gap here. You're gonna have to come back, undo it, push it into place. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten these guys up first. Now let's start up here. The top one, pull it all the way up vertically. Now that's in kind of hand tight. I'm going to go ahead and finish that up with the ratchet, this guy, and then that guy. I'll show you the finished product here in a second. Okay, that is now good and snug. Essentially all you got to do is go around, do the same thing to the other side. Alright guys, welcome back. I've gotten the driver's side headlight now reinstalled back in place. Showed you pretty much every step for the passenger side, just repeat exactly the same way over there. Let's move on now to putting it back together. Like I mentioned before, if you want, you can take this time to clean up the front bumper, get some of the stuff that you can't really get in the car wash cleaned up here. And then get the grill back in place. So again, sort of like we took it off, lay it down on the top first and then swing it into place. So I'm going to do that here. Lay it down gently, We don't need to rush this. Make sure you're all lined up. Okay. So those noises you hear are the clips sort of aligning with the back plates. Once it's in place, go ahead and make sure all the clips are lined up, and one at a time, just give it a nice firm gentle push in. And each clip will lock into place. Like that. And we got the top clip and the bottom clip to do here. Top clip, bottom clip, alright, just like that, all your clips are in place. So now all you got to do, put the bolts back in, then we'll get the plastic cover on top, get the plastic clips in. So, I don't know if you remember, but we had expertly cataloged those 4 bolts on the floor. So just go ahead and put these guys back in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, and I'll be back with you as soon as I'm done. Okay, so that's all the 4 bolts in place. Grill's nice and firm, steady, it's not going anywhere. That's in place there. All in place like it should be. Go ahead and grab the useless plastic cover. I'm not a real fan of these, they just add weight, make it look kind of pretty. Place that on there. Line it up. Go. There we are. And then our expertly cataloged pieces of plastic junk down here. Got these guys, just put them back in place. Real simple, you just push and lock it down. Again, you got to push the bottom piece in first. So, and then push this to lock it into place. So I'll speed through this and then be back with you when I'm done. Alright, so that is all the plastic clips back in place. That just about does it. We've got the bulbs changed out. All you had to do is take this piece of plastic off, this grill off. Pretty straightforward as long as you have about maybe an hour and a little patience. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be potentially doing a new headlight video. Still thinking about doing an LED light bar right in here. Make use of some of this blank empty space. If you like what you saw today, like the video, follow the channel, subscribe, and thanks for watching.